All right, real quick. I have been challenged, okay? This video is coming from a specific person that has challenged me to explain this video he sent me, okay? And in it, he lines out every lie that Kendrick Lamar told. You know, the people are trying to say that the only reason Kendrick Lamar won the rap battle, even though he really didn't win the rap battle because Drake is number one, they say that Kendrick had to lie. Okay, everything they were saying was he was saying was lies. They were lying on each other. Now, there's a few things wrong with this, and I'll go into detail with a couple of the claims this guy is making. But the first thing is, number one, we've all watched rap battles before. We've seen rap battles on wax, like what's his name? Jay-Z and Nas. We've seen Tupac and Biggie. We've seen 50 Cent and Ja Rule. Like, we've seen a lot of rap beefs in hip hop history. And let me tell you, if you believe that everything that they were saying about each other was 100% true, I don't know what to tell you. Especially if you listen to rap battles from like Smack, like URL, uh, Rare Breed Entertainment. What's the guys from Canada? King of the Dot, Don't Flop, UW, Lions Den. You know, all the new leagues they have out now. These people, they're not. Everything that they're saying about each other isn't exactly accurate. Okay, like when Big, what's his name? The dude from Pennsylvania, when he says, "I have a gun so big that when it shoot, I hit 3 niggas. I got a gun so big it take 5 niggas to hold it." Like, I hope, I, I hope I don't have to explain to you that that shit's not real, right? Like, if they say your mama is a hoe, like, I don't think the other guy gets to say that, hey, that's not true. My mom's not a hoe. She's married to one like we're forgetting what this is. Like, rap battles are supposed to be two rappers denigrating and insulting each other. It's the same thing with like a roast battle. If you go into a roast battle, everything you're saying about the guy isn't necessarily true. I can say, damn, your shoes are dirty as shit, and there's only like 2 specks of dirt on it. Like, it's not true, but if it's funny, people are gonna laugh at it. They're gonna say that, you were roasting him. Like, you know, it's like that. Like, people in rap battles don't say the shit. These are not statements of fact. These are just insults being hurled back and forth to each other. That's number one. Number two, people have a mixed up idea of what lying is. And I've fallen into that even with my whole preamble in the beginning here, because saying something that's not true isn't lying unless you know it's not true, right? So, some people, sometimes they make errors, they make mistakes. They may have thought they knew something and that information wasn't true. That's not lying. Being wrong isn't lying, okay? If I think that my ex-wife is cheating on me or whatever, and I say, "Bitch, y'all know you out there cheating." And she says, "No, I'm not. I've been at home this whole time. What do you mean I'm cheating?" I didn't lie on her. I had an idea in my head that was wrong. I was incorrect. I didn't lie. If I say, I don't know, I'm under the impression that I'm gonna win $1 million in the lottery, and I tell people, "Hey guys, I have a pretty good chance of winning the lottery today. Y'all be ready. I'm about to buy everybody fucking Lexuses tonight. And they get the results, and it turns out they didn't win the lottery. They didn't lie. What lying is saying something that isn't, like, purposely saying something that you know isn't true. Because the point of lying is to deceive people. It's to trick people. It's to make them think something is true that isn't true. And you know that that isn't true. And like, you want them to believe the incorrect thing. You don't want them to believe the truth, even though you know what the truth is. The deception is the point of the lie. Being wrong isn't lying. That's the whole point of my whole thing here. Being wrong about something isn't lying. So I think maybe that's like doing the heavy lifting in this whole thing. Just the word lie is doing the heavy lifting in this whole thing. But we're going to go over this video here. We're going to go over the lies that was being told in it. So let's start from the top.
Every lie Kendrick Lamar told in his beef with Drake. Stay with me now. He inaccurately claimed that Drake has another child, a daughter, which is completely untrue. He also claimed that she was 11 years old. Again, not true because she doesn't exist.
Okay, so he's starting off on a bad foot already. You're putting two things together, which is really just one thing. Like, okay, he may or may not be wrong about this daughter thing. We don't know for sure. We don't have any proof one way or the other. We don't know if he was lying about that. Like, when they're having these little rap battles or whatever, they're going back and forth. It's like an information war. Sorry. It's an information war. And Drake was doing the same thing. Drake was going out and trying to gather information on Kendrick from people in the population, I guess. Like, they would go out and try to find dirt on each other so that they could put it in their rap beefs. As far as they know, the shit is true. Or that's my mindset, right? Because I don't have any proof, I can't prove one way or another if he knew that this was a lie or not. That's why I had to explain this in the beginning. We can't call this a lie because we don't know if Kendrick truly believed that this 11-year-old daughter really existed. Whether or not they actually existed in reality is a separate conversation. Did Kendrick Lamar believe that a 11-year-old kid exists? He might have just got bad information and was just wrong about that. Or maybe he's right. We still don't know that for sure. I mean, it's looking like it's not right, but that's beside the point. The point is, this isn't a lie. Like, we can't say that this is a lie. You especially can't say it's a lie with the smug confidence that this guy is saying it with. But let's continue.
And not like us, Kendrick claims that Drake had an intimate relationship with Lil Wayne's girlfriend while he was in jail. Not true.
All right, now that I looked into it, he's actually right about that. Apparently the girl that Drake dealt with was dealing with Drake before she met Lil Wayne. So this wasn't happening while Lil Wayne was in jail. This was before, but you know, it still doesn't make it feel any better when you find out that, like, when you're in jail, you find out that your girl was fucking with your homeboy before and she didn't tell you nothing about it. You know, it doesn't make Drake look bad, but you know, again, it's a rap battle. You got to say bad things about each other. And I don't know if Kendrick knew that's what the situation was. He probably was just going off of, like, we don't know what's in his head. So we don't know if this was like a lie or that he just recounted the story incorrectly. Or maybe he got the story from somebody else and they recounted the story incorrectly. There's no way for us to know that for sure. So we can't call this a lie. Like, the word lie is implying intention. The word lie means they were doing this on purpose. We don't know if he wasn't just wrong about these details. That's more likely what it is. That's most likely what it is. I mean, we don't know for sure 100%, so we can't say one way or the other 100%. but that also means we can't say he was lying about it, is the point I'm making. But let's continue.
Lil Wayne himself explained that it didn't happen while they were together. She said it happened way before we got together, but
Right.
she just never told me. And on this line, he claims Baca, who is on OVO's team with Drake, has a weird case in that he's a PDF file.
All right, so he didn't say that. Okay, he did say that he had a weird case. I just looked up this shit. He did say that Baca had a weird case. Why is he around? And then subsequently said certified lover boys, certified pedophiles. I don't think, and I think that any rational person listening back to that wouldn't think that that line is specifically for Baca, because if you were listening a few lines before then, he was talking about a bunch of other people. So I don't think that the point of the Baca got a weird case, why is he around, certified lover boy, certified pedophiles, I don't think that this is Kendrick directly saying Baca is a pedophile. I think he's saying that Drake is surrounded around a bunch of nefarious individuals, with him being one of those nefarious individuals, and that there's issues with underage people with some of those people in his orbit. I don't think there's a specific claim being lobbed at any particular person. So he's not lying on Baca, right? He's not saying that Baca is a pedophile. He's saying that Baca has a weird case. Why is he around? That was the specific thing he says about Baca. He doesn't say anything else specifically about this Baca guy. But let's put into perspective the weird case that we're talking about here. So we're going to ask Gemini, did Baca, in fact, have a weird case? All right, so it says, this is the AI overview. I'll go into the particulars here, but it says, yes, Baca, not nice, a close affiliate of Drake's OVO crew, does have a controversial legal history. The weird case from Kendrick Lamar's track Not Like Us refers to a highly publicized 2014 legal situation involving a 22-year-old woman. What happened is he was pimping, is what it basically was. It was human trafficking, it was prostitution. I think they say he took some money from her. So let's go down. It says Baca was arrested and charged with forcing a woman into prostitution, human trafficking, and withholding her money. Yeah, that. So the weird circumstances, the events leading to this arrest reportedly started during a domestic dispute after she returned home to find him passed out drunk while food was burning in the oven. The house was about to burn down with this motherfucker. The subsequent charges were highly publicized, but ultimately dropped because the alleged victim, who was in an on and off romantic relationship with him, refused to testify and moved away. In 2015, rather than facing the prostitution and human trafficking charges, he pled guilty to the assault against a woman along with other unrelated weapons charges. So he didn't get the human trafficking charges because she didn't go to court. She didn't testify against him because she was in the lifestyle with him. They were, it was like a bottom bitch situation. It was, he was pimping her out and he didn't want to send him to jail for pimping, basically. But he ended up pleading guilty to all the other shit. He was sentenced to 6 months in jail, but was released immediately because he had already served 10 months. So he only went to jail for a few months. But look, human trafficking and prostitution and essentially what they said, a domestic dispute between them, which implies there may be some, fighting or him doing something to her. That is weird. I don't know if y'all don't see that as weird. I think that's weird. Apparently Kendrick Lamar thinks that's weird. I don't think it's unreasonable to say, hey, why are you friends with a guy who's doing this to women? That's kind of weird, right? I if I had a friend and I found out he was pimping out his girlfriend, like I would think that's weird. I would think it's weird if he did that and ended up going to jail for it. Or at least he would end up going to jail for weapons charges and shit. I would think that's weird. Kendrick ain't lying about that. Let's continue.
Which is completely untrue. Wow, a Jane Doe filed a lawsuit against Top Dog Entertainment over misconduct.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't untrue, and also pointing out what happened at TDU. I don't even want to dig into that, but because that doesn't have anything to do with anything anyway. I could deal with that in another video, but we'll just move past that.
He also says Drake's embassy is about to get raided too. It's only a matter of time. It's been 1 year and nothing's happened.
This dude is grasping for straw. This dude is okay. So when Kendrick says, excuse me, when Drake says, "I'll slit your throat with a razor," and like a bunch of other exaggerated lines in his songs, is that him lying because that didn't happen? Was Drake lying when he said, "I'll cut your throat with a razor"? In that what song was that? In one of the Beef songs, I can't remember. I think it was Heart Part 6. He says, "I'll slit your throat with the razor," and he's talking this shit. Was Drake lying when he said that? Or was he just rapping and just saying lines in rap songs like rappers always do and exaggerating? Like saying, "Hey, you hang out with some weird people that have some weird cases and you have a weird history with young people. They come over there and raid you too. You better watch out." Like, is that like a crazy thing to say? Like, is that him lying on him? No, obviously not.
Are you lying, Kendrick? Not to mention he says LeBron and Curry keep the family away. But clearly they didn't take his advice because Curry was with Drake earlier this year.
I don't even know what the lie was supposed to be in that. When he said, Kendrick telling them, "Hey guys, don't hang with him. Y'all shouldn't associate with him." And then it turns out one of those people are still associating with him. Where is the lie in that? What did Kendrick? I don't even understand the point that you just tried to make there.
Kendrick calls Drake a scam artist, but Kendrick's the real scam artist. Kendrick Lamar's manager was sued for $1 million for scamming.
I didn't even dig deep into this one because this nigga said that he's reacting to to Kendrick saying that Drake is a scam artist by saying, "Wait a minute, guys. Kendrick's the scam artist because his manager got sued for scamming." I don't. Man, we need to bring back like research classes in school or something. Like, oh my God. He says, "We gonna be all right. Maybe, maybe not. For one Dallas music fan, it's probably the latter because Whitney Larkins is suing Dave Free, Kendrick Lamar's manager and president of Top Dog Entertainment." Is Dave Free president of Top Dog? Is that even true? Hold on. I probably shouldn't even be listening to. Why did I type that in? Holy shit. I shouldn't even be listening to the source that this motherfucker is posting. Has Dave Free ever been the, let me see what he said he is, the president? Yeah, the president of Top Dog. Has he ever been the president of Top Dog? Maybe I should be typing in Dave Free. Let's see. Is that even true? Let's see. All right, he was the co-president. Okay, that is correct. He was the co-president of Top Dog. He's not the president anymore, but that's fine. We'll accept that. Now, let's see where this lawsuit went. Let me see. Whitney Larkins, Dave Free. Whitney Larkins. Let's see what happened with that. Oh, my bad. I put that backwards. It says Kendrick Lamar fan named Whitney Larkins filed a $1 million lawsuit against Day Free. The dispute began after Larkins purchased $350 VIP package to meet Kendrick Lamar. When she asked for extra time along with the rapper, she claimed Day Free agreed to arrange it for a $10,000 cash payment. After she repeatedly tried to get more details, she was banned from the concert. All right, let's see what actually, where did that go? I don't even know who I can. Let's see, this came out 2022, so maybe this has more information. Da-da-da-da. Report goes, she emailed one of Kendrick's managers, Day Free, in the hopes, da-da-da-da-da. The amount she went digging for information. Da-da-da-da-da. Larkin doesn't blame Kendrick, going on to call him one of the greatest rappers alive of all time, who is on par with Tupac in the lawsuit. So damn, even in this lawsuit that this dude is trying to use as evidence that Kendrick is a scammer, the girl is saying that Kendrick is still the best. It's kind of crazy. However, she says Free crushed her dreams, and now she's left with a deep sadness. She's looking for the 1 million. Okay, I need to know what happened. Did she win? Does Whitney Larkins in her lawsuit against Free? Let's see. No, Whitney Larkins did not win her lawsuit against Day Free. The $1 million grievance was an unconventional claim filed by a disgruntled fan that essentially faded from the public record and was not a successful legal victory. All right, the lawsuit. She filed a lawsuit representing herself, seeking $1 million. She filed paperwork in Dallas, Texas, but the case never resulted in a win or a payout and is widely remembered as a frivolous or non-starter legal filing. So we don't have anything saying that this didn't happen. That at least with Dave, her trying to get VIP backstage, whatever the fuck, with Kendrick Lamar through Day Free. I don't see anything saying that didn't happen. But because there's no ruling on this, it looks like she just backed out. She don't have any evidence to back up her claims. And it didn't really go anywhere. So as far as we know, this didn't happen. As far as we know, she's making the whole shit up. It's inconclusive because the case never really went anywhere. How this makes Kendrick the scammer, I have no idea, but go off, King.
Kendrick Lamar was sued himself for copy infringement over his hit song Loyalty.
Okay, interesting. I did a little bit of digging on this loyalty thing, and this is another one of those cases that didn't really go anywhere. Let's see. Kendrick Lamar loyalty lawsuit. So I looked this up, and apparently, and the song that this is supposed to be copying from is unreleased. The person who's suing over this is suing for a song that has not been released yet. I don't know how that works. I don't know how you copyright infringe on something that hasn't been copywritten yet. You know, maybe it works differently. Maybe because maybe they see it as IP, but you know, because it's not official. I don't know if you can consider that IP. Like if it's just a song that's on your hard drive and somebody, even if he just ripped the song completely off of a hard drive, I don't know if that's illegal. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. But this person hasn't been able to prove that that's what happened anyway. Let's read over this. So it says, Kendrick Lamar's 2017 song Loyalty was the subject of a 2020 copyright infringement lawsuit filed by a musician, Terrence Hayes. Hayes alleged that Lamar's track copied the melody, harmony, and rhythm of a song he recorded in 2011. The lawsuit was voluntarily dismissed by Hayes later that year. So he dropped the shit afterwards. He saw it wasn't going to go anywhere, probably. The accusations, Hayes filed the complaint in a California federal court claiming Lamar's producers took an unreleased song he created in 2011 and slowed it down using a synthesizer to disguise the copying. The crazy part is the melody of the Loyalty song. I don't know if y'all have heard this before. The melody is sample based. And this is what I looked up. The melody is based on the fucking Bruno Mars 24 Karat Magic sample. It was just a reversed, sped up 24 Karat Magic spin. Now there is a connection because the person who produced Loyalty apparently is in communications with this Terrence guy, and he may have had access to the song. I don't know that for sure. They haven't been able to substantiate any of this in court. The case didn't really go anywhere. It just kind of came and went. But what they're describing is bog standard, like it's just a sample pretty much. And it's for a song that he didn't release that's not copyrighted. You can't copyright something that isn't out. If it's just something on your hard drive, it wasn't released, so it wasn't copyrighted. That makes no sense. You're an idiot. And the fact that he did this years after the song released just kind of points to how frivolous this is. Again, all of this is related to other niggas. This don't have nothing to do with Kendrick. Kendrick didn't make the beat. Kendrick didn't make the beat. He just rapped on it. This is not Kendrick scamming and stealing somebody's song. He didn't take the lyrics because there was no lyrics. He didn't steal this beat. He's saying that Kendrick copied the melody and the composition and all of that. He's not saying that the song was just straight ripped. And we can't compare it because it's unreleased. We don't have a way to compare if his song sounds like the Loyalty because he didn't release it. And the courts haven't released it either for the people to hear. So there's no way for us to verify it ourselves. But clearly the court couldn't have agreed with it that much because they didn't go nowhere with the shit either. You know what this man asked for? Let me go back to this. Let's see. Kendrick Lamar facing copyright infringement. Let's go to Pitchfork. It says Hayes and Martin, which is the producers, shared a mutual collaborator in Limeberg. Hayes asserts that he wrote his song called Loyalty in 2011, and that same year recorded the track together with Limeberg and kept the project session on Limeberg's computer. It was sitting on a hard drive. The lawsuit alleges that Martin had access to two of Hayes' tracks, the original 2011 Loyalty and a remix that was produced in 2016 via Limeberg's computer, and that Kendrick Lamar's Damn track copied the entire composition, including the title, melody, harmony, and rhythm from Hayes' work. The complaint also alleges that Martin took Hayes' track and slowed it down through a synthesizer and combined it with another sample to disguise the copying on Loyalty. That makes no fucking sense. The problem is he thought that the little sound from the sped up 24 Karat Magic sample was synthesizer. He didn't realize that it was a sample. he says that's supposed to be disguising the copy, and you know we can't prove if the composition and the melody weren't similar, but I can say the melody is based on this sample unless they both used the 24 Karat Magic sample, which then Bruno Mars gets to step in and say, actually, you motherfuckers are stealing from me. Then there's nowhere to go with copyright infringement claims. You do. That's to say, this isn't copyright infringement. this didn't go anywhere. All these cases that this guy is using as examples to prove his point are cases that were dropped that nobody gives a fuck about, that the people who were in the lawsuits didn't continue, either because they didn't have any evidence, or I guess, I don't know, Kendrick is so evil that he put the kibosh on them somehow. Again, another thing you would have to prove that they don't have evidence for. But let's continue.
So this man won the beef by lying his way through each track, and nobody called him out for it.
Okay, that was the whole thing. So yeah, that's just not true. Like he didn't demonstrate one lie this entire video. And the fact that people will be like, yeah, that's right, Kendrick won based off of lies, based off of goofy videos like this, is astounding to me, because I bet you nobody went back to search the veracity of any of these claims this guy made. They just said, oh, well, he showed some screenshots on the screen, so he must know what he's talking about. Like, and this is what I mean. Like, people can just say anything online, and in order for you to substantiate and make sure that it's correct, you have to go back and do double the research that guy did, because you have to find out where they came up with the misinformation from, and then see why it's misinformation and compare that to the actual correct information. This is just nothing but misinformation and leaving shit out. Misinformation, like, I don't know. The internet has a real problem with misinformation and people just being able to craft a story out of anything. And because they know the audience isn't going to go back and double check it, it creates what they call a narrative. I hate calling it that, but it's the only word I can think of that kind of expresses the idea here. It creates a narrative, and more people build their view on things based on these narratives that aren't necessarily true. Especially in the case of this, because you can use all these same points against Drake. You could say he lied about Kendrick beating up his wife. You could say that he lied about Kendrick's kid not being his. You could say he lied about Kendrick making a song about being molested. You could say Drake lied about a lot of shit. But that would be dumb. Right? Like, you notice that the people who are the Kendrick fans aren't doing that. They aren't talking about how those are lies. They're just like, oh, whatever. Like, you're just wrong about that. You're dumb. And they're leaving it there because they don't have an ulterior motive. Like, these Drake fans, I hate to put it this way, they've been fighting in the Stan Wars for the past 2 years, and they got to find a win somewhere. And they're not arguing in good faith. They really are just saying shit at this point. And it's kind of sad, but I'm gonna leave it there. Shout out to y'all for listening to me. I didn't think that I would spend this much time on this. It's really dumb, but I think the overall thing to take from this is that we really need to go back to actually doing research again. And I know I didn't like do deep research in what I just did here. I just did like my quick Googles. AI, all the Google AI does is just find the source and summarizes it for you. I just did my 5-second Googles just to try to back up the claims that was made, and you'll see that they've been misrepresented. We need to go back to doing research, man. We can't just believe shit because we seen it on a screen on the internet. It's like the Abraham Lincoln meme. It's literally the Abraham Lincoln. Hold up, let me see if I can find this. The Abraham Lincoln meme. This isn't important, but let's see. I don't know if you can see it. Don't believe everything you read on the internet. Just because there's a picture with a quote next to it. Like, are we dead ass? Is this the world we live in now? People just see a picture with some words on it, and all of a sudden, that's just what it is. We are living in a dystopia right now, but it is what it is. I can't do nothing about it. All I can do is, try to give the correct information. And it's just, I was telling people, it's easier for people to say bullshit. It takes 1 second to say something incorrect or misinformed or dishonest, because that's what a lot of it is too. And I'll end it here. A lot of it is just people being dishonest and saying something that isn't necessarily untrue, but leaving certain shit out, saying it in a certain kind of way. Like, it takes 1 second to do that. And it takes much longer to actually debunk that and to do the research and do the knowledge, nigga, and show actually you are misrepresenting that. This is misinformation. It didn't go the way you're saying it's going, And now we live in a world where you could just machine gun out a bunch of shit. It basically takes forever to be able to deal with everything. And by the time you get done correcting the first piece of misinformation, there's already a new piece of misinformation you have to deal with, like instantly, and it never ends. But that's what happens on the internet. But thanks for watching. I didn't think I would spend this much time on it, but shout out to you. Shout out to me. Kendrick won.